Welcome back to the channel with another deck profile here from German Nationals, and I am joined by Christoph, who made top 4 here. So Christoph, tell us about your journey from this weekend.
Yeah, I played pure Mitsu. I essentially took Josh's list that he played at French Nuts, made a couple of changes to it that I felt made sense for me, and it worked great. I finished X3 in Swiss and made it in through the tiebreakers. And yeah, then I went through to top 4. Got a game loss in game 3 when I would have won game 3, unfortunately. And then I won my
So yeah, third place in the end, which
exactly,
also then in the end meant you got the prize card.
Yeah.
So that's still something to definitely be very, very happy about, and a pretty big accomplishment. So yeah, show us the list you did it with.
Yeah, so as I said, it's essentially the basic thing that Josh was playing as well. So it's just 3 Habakiri, 2 Murakumo, 1 Futsu. For the small guys, it's 3 Aramasa, 1 Saji, 1 Kusanagi, 1 Serpent. And then the one first change I made was I main deck Wusu. Josh said in his deck profile that if you don't open Perulia, Fualos, or Lockbird against the Ryzel deck, you're really struggling. Like, you can't win essentially going second. So I felt like in game 1 scenarios, when my opponents don't essentially, if I have a playable hand and they don't negate Aramasa, and they don't go for the XYZ that summons the guy back, I forgot its name.
Eclipse Twins, right?
Eclipse Twins,
yeah.
If they don't go for that under detonator, so it's live, so this then just kills the detonator and your life becomes much easier. That's what I did in theory about it. I drew it a couple of times going first in game 1. It's obviously bad then. I played against 2 White Forests, drawing it there, or having access to it is really good because you can struggle outing the Saint Azamina. So I can understand not wanting to main deck this because it is a brick and it is not good in a lot of scenarios, but it was alright for me. I think it's very reasonable to not keep main decking it, but it worked out for me.
So if you would have to play another tournament tomorrow, would it be in there again?
No, it would be in the side deck.
Okay, fair.
Most likely. Nah, definitely. Yeah, and then for spells it's 3 Prayer, 3 Ritual, 3 Pre-Prep, 1 Mirror, and then 1 of the Quick Play. And then I played only Pot of Prosperity. I don't like Extravagance very much. I like the card selection more than the +1. And for me the Prosperity was really great. Whenever I resolved it successfully, I think I won every single time. That I didn't get lockbirded. I didn't have an answer to it, right? But
what was usually the approach to the card? Did you like activate it first to bait out something maybe, or did you usually like keep it and then in the end
it depends
dig for
on the
something
hand,
else?
right? If I don't have a play, except for
course.
Cross, of course, then I'm prosping.
Yes.
If I have prayers and nothing to tribute for it, because if I do prayers draw phase and then go Haba and Saji, I get lockbirded at some point there. I feel like it doesn't really matter. So I would, in that case, just prosp first, in case I just find a ritual monster to get more value out of prayers.
Yeah.
Also, even if I have a really good hand, I keep this to just dig for hand traps. It just really depends on the situation, how I read it in the moment. But
fair enough.
I can't complain.
Yeah, thanks for the insight. That sounds about right.
Yeah, then for the non-engine, this is exactly the same that Josh played, because it's just perfect. Nothing to add. The 1 Nibiru that you can search of the Gallant Granite, and then Dominus Impulse was incredible the entire event. I played 7 or 8 Malice, and 2 Mirrors, I think, and this is like absolute MVP there. Yeah.
What's usually the card you hit with Impulse against the Melos matchup?
Against it depends, I think, on the rest of my hand. If I have like Nib to pair with it, right? Or if I mulch-cheat them, if I have Ash or something post side. If I only have Impulse and because most of the time if you do it early it kind of doesn't matter. And probably if they play perfectly, it won't matter either way. But most of my opponents I could punish when they went GWC banish Whitebinder to summon back like Red Ransom, and then I could impulse the Whitebinder so they don't get a trap back.
Yeah.
And that made it way easier for me to play through boards. That happened a bunch of times. And apart from that, yeah.
Sounds about right. Okay, so that's 40 cards in the main deck, I
That's 40
assume?
cards, exactly,
Nice.
yeah. I'll go through the side deck first, because
Sure.
that's tied to the main deck, though, so there's the 2 more nibs. And because you side out the 6 Malchis and the Kaiju essentially every time, also 3 Ashes, and 1 Imperm, and 1 Trap. So when you side out the 7 cards I mentioned, you side in these 7 most of the time. Of course, depending on the matchup, you can side in Lancia for the Lockbirds against Malice, and then against Blue Eyes or the Mirror, there's the 4 Bestials. And then I figured it's German Nationals, there's a lot of weird decks running around, and I don't want to just get blown out by some stupid shit, so I just decided to play 1 Duster. I boarded it in 1 time, I didn't draw it, so it just doesn't matter as a card. So you can change this spot. Apart from that, it was great. The 1 Imperm seems weird, but I just wanted a card that is like a low impact card that I can side in going first, going second, and that will be live no matter if I get hand trapped or not. So like if I side in Thrust and I only get hit with like Dominus Impulse, I don't want to have the card, I just want to have like some form of interaction. So I just went with what I felt was like the next best generic card to play after Ash.
Yeah, feels good.
Then for the extra deck, also the 1 Feral Imp, that came up a couple of times. If your like Murakumo gets Bishield or DD Crowed or whatever, you just get easier access to a second one, and the 1 Gallant for Nip. 1 Baguska, if you get Lockbirded into Oblivion against certain decks, you can just go Baguska Pass and they can't win. I played an Evil Swarm Nightmare. Most of the time you make the XYZs with your Nightsword Serpent, but you side them out sometimes. And if you summon the guy with 2 Darks, I think this most of the time it's not better than going IP into something on the opponent's turn, but I kind of like this against Ryzeal because you can book like the first 2 guys, and then so they essentially commit 4 bodies before you Amano Raigeki them, and then they only have like 2 bodies, and then they can only essentially go Detonator and then like whatever other engine they do, and that's not enough, right? So I kind of like this against the Ryzeal deck. It was alright. I summoned it like 2-3 times maybe. It was never bad. I won every game I summoned it. So I won Tornado Dragon for back row. I summoned this like never, I think, but I think it's mandatory to play. You have so much space in the extra decks. It just stupid
it's just
not
a
to
big
do.
toolbox in
Yeah,
this deck,
exactly,
right?
exactly. 1 Dugaras for easier OTKs. Sometimes to draw yourself out of a pinch, to revive Amno. Like this is really versatile. I think I never summoned it the entire event. But I don't want to miss it, so it's in there. I played the Rhapsody in Berserk, also for the Mitsurugi Mirror, to remove Futsu and the Kusanagi. I never summoned it. It never crossed my mind to summon it. I think it's fine to not play this card, especially with the Bestials in the sideboard. It's I think reasonable to not run it.
Yeah.
But find a better 15th, I guess. I played a Photon Lord. If I go like super giga big combo, I can summon this with Amino and Tabakiri, and then have Futsu, and then you just detach Amino with your first negation, just to get like a bit bigger of a board. I summoned this like 2 or 3 times. It was always great. Yeah, you have the space for it. One Typhoon, I never made it, never needed it, never came up, but you have the space. 1 Zeus, summoned it twice. I lost both games.
Even the feature match you did.
Yeah. But yeah, it's an XYZ deck, quote unquote. So, and then for the links, it's IP, SP, Dynamondo, Dark, just 1 of each, because we don't play Extravagance, so you don't need more. I felt like second Dynamondo could still come up sometimes. if I went IP into Dynamondo on the opponent's turn and then like wanted to have like another removal piece on my follow-up turn, I think playing a second Dynamondo over some of the other cards in the extra deck is correct, but it wasn't like super relevant. And the last card is one Chaos Angel. You can only summon this if you set in Bestials. I summoned this card 2 times and it won me both games, single-handedly. So,
it's kind of unexpected in this deck as well, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not really a synchro deck or anything. So
exactly, yeah. And because you're just on the level 4 and level 8 axis, so even if you like Bestial them, have a level 4 guy on field, like that's not the first thing they think about. And if they go, sure, then you can just punish them with this. So yeah. Can't complain about the list, honestly.
Absolutely, and I mean, it's a major accomplishment, of course, to go all the way into 3rd place here at German Nationals. So, of course, last but not least, do you have any shout-outs to make?
Of course. First off, to Thunder Dragon himself, the boy, the G. To Jonas Kosche. To Josh, because I essentially stole his list. Couldn't have done it without him. And, of course, shout-outs to all my friends from locals, to Team Trend, the guys.
The supporters.
Yeah, they probably believed more in me than I did myself, so I'm really happy with how it turned out. Yeah.
All right, congratulations again. Thanks for the profile. Everyone make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let us know in the comments what you think about Christoph's deck, and then see you for the next deck profile.